Welcome to Teacher Evaluation Training for the 2018-2019 school year. Research tells us that 2 years of effective teachers could not remediate the achievement loss caused by 1 year with a poor teacher. This being said, New Jersey in 2012 passed the Teach NJ Act, which was a law for new teacher and leadership evaluation system, which went into place in the 2013-2014 school year. This we now know as Achieve New Jersey. The state DOE gave districts the ability to select their own evaluation tool. In Somerville, we came to the collaborative decision to use the STRONG model for both our teachers and administration. So what is the purpose of the evaluation system? It's to document the quality of teacher performance, ensure effective instruction is being delivered, and provide professional development for teachers to improve their performance. In essence, the evaluation system is to be used as a coaching model. It is not an I gotcha. Achieve NJ outlines how summative ratings are calculated. They are a combination of teacher practice, based on classroom observation, student growth objectives, or known as SGO, which are set by the teacher and the principal, and student growth percentiles, or MSGPs, which are based on the state assessment performance. These together calculate the summative rating. The state recently came out with new weights to calculate the summative score based on feedback that they had collected from all shareholders. For non-MSGP teachers, teacher practice is weighted 85% and SGOs are weighted 15%. For MSGP teachers, which are teachers of ELA grades 4 through 8 and math grades 4 through 7, the following weights are used: 70% for teacher practice, 25% for SGOs, and 5% for MSGPs. Let's take a closer look at teacher practice. The NJDOE has set specific teacher practice guidelines. In terms of observations, non-tenured teachers receive 3 observations, while tenured teachers receive 2 observations. All teachers must receive 1 announced and 1 announced observation with a pre-conference. Post-conferences must take place following the observation. For non-tenured teachers, these meetings must be face-to-face. For tenured teachers, at least 1 of your 2 post-conferences must be face-to-face. The STRONG teacher evaluation tool is made up of 3 components. The performance standards define the criteria expected when teachers perform their major duties. Next are the performance indicators. They provide research-based examples of observable, tangible behaviors that indicate the degree to which teachers are meeting each teaching standards. We often call these the look-fors. Finally, the third main component is the performance appraisal rubrics. We use these during the summative evaluation. The evaluator will use a preponderance of evidence to judge where the teacher should be rated. There are 7 teaching performance standards. Let's take a closer look. Strong Performance Standard 1 is professional knowledge. This is related to how well teachers understand the subject content, how best to teach the materials, and how the materials connect to other areas of the curriculum, as well as their understanding of the developmental level and needs of the students in their classrooms. Strong Performance Standard 2 is instructional planning. This relates to whether teachers are using the prescribed curricula and standards to plan lessons, whether they use data to inform their planning, and whether their planning addresses the strategies and resources necessary to meet the different needs of all of their students. Standard 3 is instructional delivery. This looks at the type of instructional strategies teachers use. Does the teacher use the same strategy for all students every day, or does the teacher modify strategies to engage the students in active learning? Does the teacher take individual learning differences into consideration when instructing? Strong Performance Standard 4 is assessment of and for learning. This standard not only looks at the types of assessment strategies teachers use, but also instructional uses. Performance Standard 5 is learning environment. This standard focuses on whether the teacher provides a safe, secure environment where all students are respected and where the rules and routines are in place to ensure the classroom is conducive to learning. Strong Performance Standard 6 focuses on professionalism. This standard really has 3 parts: behaving as we expect educational professionals to behave, communicating to the appropriate stakeholders using an appropriate method, and professional development. The final performance standard 7 is student progress. We monitor this through state guidelines with our student growth objectives. This can also be measured through how we're keeping IEP data progress or even interventions. Now, let's take a closer look at student growth objectives, or SGOs. SGOs promote reflective and collaborative teaching practices, alignment among standards, instruction, and assessment, and improvement in student learning. Teachers set student growth objectives, or SGOs, for their students at the start of the school year and are assessed on whether those objectives are met at the end of the year. Teachers are required to create 2 SGOs. When creating your SGOs, please remember they must be specific and measurable academic goals that are aligned to state academic standards. They should be based on student growth and/or achievement using available student learning data. They are to be developed by a teacher in consultation with his or her principal or supervisor, and they must be approved by a teacher's principal or supervisor. Remember, your SGOs can be revised in February. Now let's take a look at the final component of the summative rating. This is student growth percentile and is only for teachers who teach ELA grades 4 through 8 or math grades 4 through 7. An SGP is a measure of how much a student improves on his or her state test performance from one year to the next compared to students across the state with similar score history. The NJDOE recognizes that students enter each grade level at varying starting points and with unique challenges, and that we should focus on student improvement rather than simply how many students attain proficiency. New Jersey measures growth for an individual student by comparing the change in his or her achievement on the state assessment from one year to the next to the student's academic peers. This change is reported as a student growth percentile and indicates on a scale from 1 to 99 how an individual student growth compares to those academic peers. To determine the MSGP for an individual teacher's, district course roster data is used to create an ascending list of SGPs of qualifying students who are assigned to the teacher by the district. We've now finished exploring each piece that makes up the summative rating. If you still have questions, please contact your building principal or Natalie Franzi, the Academic Achievement Officer. We hope you have a great school year.